How would I describe girls? Love is pretty creepy. Yeah.
Marin, you said that there was a boy that you really liked, right? You want to tell McCoy?
I don't remember.
You don't? Adam?
She loves Adam because he's a boy, that's why I'm thinking.
Is there anybody in your class, Ava, that you think, any boy that you think is cute?
No. I played with London, which was a boy, because he was kind of like me. He was kind of funny, and he never really cried. He was really wild. You cried all the time. He cries sometimes, but not a lot. Total waste of time. God is like, hey, I got all these awesome people. Now let's just add other things. Girls are the other things. That make no sense. I think girls can look like this, not very hot, but then they can look like pretty hot. But like right now, since we're pretty young, we're simple, which is single, and it's nice.
Really good cooking, humor, good looking. That's good too. But you know, I'm going to be a single old man forever because that just sounds much better.
I'd like somebody who loves me no matter what I do. And I love them no matter what they do.
I guess I would be attracted to someone with a good sense of humor, someone with an interest in my own life, and that I would have an interest in their life as well.
So what I like about my girlfriend is a lot of things. She's really cute. I don't know if you've seen her. She's got this great red hair, a great smile, like that. I know, aw, right?
I don't know if I'd be able to say right now like what attributes or like personality traits I would like right now. I'd have to find out for myself.
It's hard.
Through like along the way.
Yeah, we're single bodies. We wouldn't.
Yeah.
I thought that Matt was very funny and fun to be around.
I think that's what attracted me to her was just her voice and hearing her, and that's how I fell in love with her, is just by talking to her over the phone.
When we first met, Jen, just had a really good attitude, I thought. Just, very self-confident, funny, good sense of humor, and beautiful. Still think you're beautiful.
All right, you should answer that one first. I gotta think about mine.
What?
All right, I'll answer first. So, I'm a teacher, and Tamla is a teacher, and she loves learning, and she's very smart, and she thinks about things, and her political and social and spiritual views are very much in tune with mine. And so, it didn't hurt that she's pretty, but certainly those other things cemented my love for her.
Good that we agree on the parenting front as well. And the fact that he's cute and funny and makes me laugh, that was just kind of icing on the cake.
We met over the phone, and I liked your dad immediately. He was really smart and really funny. And the smartness, I think, came through in how quick his wit was. It just interested me immediately.
So I thought your mom was a really interesting, kind of cool person.
He thought I was scary looking.
Well, that was cool.
It wasn't cool.
She had very short hair at the time, but so what that said to me was that she was very confident, that she was comfortable with who she was, and she was attractive and intelligent and funny and liked to be, she was athletic, she liked to do things. So all of those things were very appealing to me. I was looking for somebody who had those qualities.
Honestly, what attracted me to him, besides the fact that he's very handsome, is that he's very sweet. And I noticed that right away, like when he picked me up at the airport. How he was treating other people.
I saw the same thing in her too. I thought that she's very intelligent too. To me that is very important.
What I remember about Lee, cute blonde hair, blue-green eyes, a strong football player body, a funny sense of humor, and a good smile.
And what I remember about Jeff is that he was kind of tallish, brown hair, brown eyes. He was very smart. He was kind of the leader in the class, and so that was very attractive to me also.
It was just really comfortable and fun to be with him.
It was easy, just easy to talk those rare times when somebody really feel comfortable with. I really thought Peggy was beautiful. That would have a lot to do with it.
When I think of love, I also think of the things I like. Like, I like Alice because he's really cute, and I like my family, and I like that I have a lot of friends.
Casey, my dog.
When I think of love, I think of friends, I think of family, I think of pets, I think of people that make you you.
I don't know, I guess I see like little vignettes of just people being close to each other, a strong friendship, vulnerability, a type of like youth in life.
I occasionally give her gifts, like flowers. She enjoys flowers. Sometimes I give her Magic the Gathering cards as gifts, and
that's a nerdy card game.
It's a nerd gift.
Making sure that we do things that, if there's something that I'm not interested in, but he really loves, to try it out and to see how that goes. I try to make sure that he's taken care of in terms of like making sure that we're both eating properly, and like when I met him he didn't eat fruits or vegetables. So I have slowly integrated those into his diet.
You're warm and affectionate, and I think that comes across. And so when there are times when you don't feel as happy about whatever situation, you've got that reservoir of good feelings.
Kind of divide and conquer and just help each other. If, you know, one person's having a busy day or a busy week, the other person kind of steps up and does a little bit extra. We tease each other a lot too. That's always been the case. That hasn't stopped ever since we were dating. I think that we don't take a lot of things too seriously, and we both kind of have a good sense of humor.
Well, I do the dishes sometimes. And then if I can remember to put folded laundry away, that really helps. And then most importantly, and this is serious, most importantly, I try to come through for her when she needs me to do something important. And that could be any of a variety of things, but I always try to come through.
Yeah, okay. I agree with the last part.
Oh, you don't agree with the beginning?
Well, I think the doing the dishes part make my general day easier. But I think for you, ultimately, it's like, well, I'm here, I'm committed to you, I care about you, I show affection, I'm generally pleasant, he makes me laugh. And so for you, I think it's natural for you to show that you care in those ways.
That's
but
true.
it is not natural for you to go and wash the dishes.
It is not natural.
Yeah, so I think the lesson is that you have to know what the other person needs and give them what they need, not what you think you want to give them.
That's a good lesson.
I think we show that we care about each other because we try to communicate, we try to set aside time it's just the two of us talking, and we're interested in each other. Or I'm interested in you. I think your dad's interested in me too. And we show we care, I think it's day-to-day consideration.
I'm a news junkie. I watch news all the time, even if it is a murder or a good news, bad news, it's
politics.
Politics, and she doesn't like all that, but she still sit there and she reads, so, she is tolerating, I like, Indian classical music, which my wife and my kids hate, but still, they haven't kicked me out, Yeah.
Yeah, or things like he absolutely doesn't understand, in some sense, why I need to garden. Even though he doesn't have any desire to garden, he understands that it's important to me. And so, like, when the kids were really little, I would go outside on Saturday morning and garden, and he would take care of everything inside. Just for a couple of hours, just to let me go outside completely guilt-free.
Early in the morning, like, Lee gets up first, but it's not unusual for me to wake up and find a hot cup of coffee right next to me.
And I mean, one of the things that Jeff is really good at, he is very, very warm. He's kind of sentimental. He will write, you know, a little poetry a lot in the beginning, especially, and still continues to do that. And I think we really have each other as we kind of go through life. We really try to watch out for each other, and you know, there's been, like being a gay couple, there's different times where we've had to really kind of have each other's back, so to speak.
Well, sometimes it's just what we said, getting interested in something the other person's interested in. And I think we like to give each other presents, but that doesn't mean they have to be real important presents, but something that just touches the moment.
I think we're pretty good at cheering each other up.
Yeah.
We're pretty sensitive to when one person's feeling sad or in a bad mood.
It's bad when we're both down at the same time.
I don't know. They're totally different. I mean, it makes no sense. No, it just doesn't make sense.
I don't see them fight. Sometimes they tickle each other, but they don't fight.
There's not really a key to making a relationship work other than being able to solve the inevitable issues that come up. But if you're not willing to kind of be more of yourself with that person than you would with anyone else, like why would you be in a relationship instead of just being a friend?
I think what makes relationships work is a mutual understanding of what the other person needs / wants.
I feel like the only couples that actually like last longest are ones that can fight and then 2 seconds later be like kidding with each other. Like where it doesn't make a difference in their relationship, it just happens to be like something they disagree on.
Relationships work because people like to be in relationships and because people like each other, and when people can get along and they want to be in relationships together, they'll stay in relationships together.
It's so important for you to be able to know who you are without being with someone else. I think being in a relationship should kind of enhance your life. It shouldn't make it. It's really beautiful when somebody kind of is able to love themselves and love somebody else at the same time.
We have a lot of common interests, which I think is very helpful. When I see some other couples that don't have common interests, you have to work that much harder to make everything work, to be that much more involved in your partner's life, but we share a lot of interests, not all the same.
It starts out, I think, with any relationship where you have some communication barriers where you don't understand the person's personality and what they're thinking, but you can still work through your communication skills at figuring out what may be wrong at a certain time or why they're upset with you, basic things like that.
One of the things that I think most makes our relationship work is we work together. There's a discussion about any major decision. I think our viewpoints, our outlooks in life are the same. Or they're complementing each other. Like Jen thinks she has cancer every time she has a hangnail, and I'm fairly optimistic about health and stuff. And I think you have to have, just a tremendous affection and love and attraction.
Respect. I think we've always respected one another, but I think that's grown over the years too.
We're goofy. You gotta be goofy. Life's too serious not to be goofy.
What makes our relationship work is the fact that I am so smart. It's the biggest factor.
Well, I think it's about teamwork.
Okay, it's about teamwork. And I will say that we both love each other very much. And so when things are great, things are awesome. And when things go bad, we just know that we love each other very much and we figure it out.
That's true.
And the part where I'm really smart. That helps. That never hurts.
We share common interests. We make sure we have time for each other and for what we value.
I try to listen to your mom and hear what she says.
Work out all the conflicts, all the differences, all of the different ways that we understand the same situation, given that we came from different places. So we fight fair.
And I think that we do work on it. So when there is conflict or disagreement or just anything that would take us apart, we're both paying attention to that and It's not always a smooth process, but it's always one that we're committed to.
When you start dating, it's all, yeah, you like somebody, everything is great, right? But then as we move on, then you will see the things that bugs you. The point is that, you have to, deal with that. One of the best advice we were given, and we say that tell that to everybody, is that there is only one person you can change. That is you. And then another thing is that, keep your one eye and one ear closed, so that you don't see or don't pay attention to the things you don't like.
Even though we come from really different places in the world, we come from very similar backgrounds, and that has
values.
Yeah, our values are very similar, and our expectations for how we're going to live and what's important, like big picture, what's important. And I think that's been just a really critical piece.
Yeah.
Love is complicated. You don't expect it to be easy. But there has to be a lot of positive in your relationship. So the positive needs to outweigh the negative. And so even when you're having a disagreement or you're not seeing eye to eye on something, don't get into an all-out fight about it. You deal with that little issue right there, and you reinforce, I love you. Even though we don't agree on this, I love you, and this relationship is really important to me. And I think over the years, pretty soon the arguments get much less. And the I love you part is the part that you hear.
Part of it, I think, is love and sentiment and affection and that. Part of it is similar interests in a lot of ways, but not always. And then we have things that are different, but that we try to share. And there's Lewis.
We have Lewis. We have a 12-year-old son. He certainly is, in the last 12 years, has been someone we've kind of organized our life around more, which has kind of been both challenging, but it's also made us kind of look at things in our relationship, I think, more closely and how we can be more supportive of each other.
I think it's good we both have a sense of humor.
We do have a lot of similar interests, so at least we appreciate those things in each other. Children are glue. So when we really disagree, there's probably grounds to come back to something that can make that better. Be aware that there are times when you just ought to be patient with something that annoys you, or you ought to try to make the situation better or make the person feel better. It's easy to say you learn things as you get older, but you do sort of learn to back off of those things that are irritants. Most of the time.
Mostly.
Make sure that you enjoy spending time together, because we've seen a lot of our friends and family members in relationships where they don't have fun together. And I think that that's the one thing that you can do, because when times get tough and when things in your relationship change, knowing that you have someone by your side that, is going to help make the best of it and is going to help you feel better about whatever you're facing is a very important thing.
I always viewed it as I think things can be very simple. You either want to be with somebody or you don't. And, with, 4 billion people on the planet, there's got to be somebody that you want to spend time with. I was 33 when we got married, or a week before that, and it was, a lot of people got married right out of college. Not a lot, but a fair amount, and I needed that 12 years to grow up.
Yeah, I think you could see now with hindsight that maybe some people were more in love with the idea of getting married or in love with the idea of love than that actual person, and then you struggle later.
Are you crying?
I don't know, a little. It's kind of emotional, yeah.
Yeah. It's cute. You're not wearing a wedding ring. What's the deal?
I forgot.
We got married. A lot of our friends also got married, and of all of the weddings that we were bridesmaids and best men and such in, a lot of our friends are now divorced, and I think for us that just was never an option. And I think when you want to be happy, like sometimes it's like, do you want to be right all the time, or do you want to be happy? And so I think that's a big lesson that I know I've tried to embrace and learn, because I want to be happy. So if we disagree about something, or if something doesn't go the way I want it to go, ultimately I know that John is a good man, and I wouldn't want to have my life without him. So
that's a good answer too.
Yeah. So we just choose to be happy and not choose to win all the time or be right.
That's That's a good answer.
That it's really helpful in a relationship to feel that the other person enjoys you or cares about you. And so your mom has done a nice job of making me feel that way. So I feel comfortable and safe in the relationship because I believe that she likes me and she laughs at my jokes, not just because she thinks she needs to.
The first 2 years relationships can be very rocky, and so we really had to work those out. And there's always going to be conflict in a relationship. Not fighting is not the key to a good relationship. Having ways to work out your disagreements and your conflict, that's the key. And I think that over the years that we've really...
And not surrendering the relationship because I'm not getting what I want right now.
Exactly.
And realizing that maybe I don't need to get what I want
right
all the time, and that it's a shared thing. And I think, you know, it's a hard thing to do, but like having realistic expectations and not falling into sort of fairy tale mode of thinking about life happily ever after and what does that look like, and you kind of, it's hard, but you get to make it up. And so I would say, you know, keep going, don't give up, and make it up.
I would just say for young couples, you know, sort of keep your eye on the long term. You know, take care of the day to day, but we just celebrated 20 years in November, and it just somehow, I don't know, it's just a wonderful thing to have been in love for 20 years. It's amazing. So I say stick with it.
Yeah, I would again say that, you know, commitment is that is the key. But on the other hand, you know, you have to make sure that you're committing to the right person.